Drake is facing the biggest challenge of his career. His Australian tour is cancelled, his music releases are in limbo, his lawsuit against his own label is raising more questions than answers, and worst of all, he's losing control of the narrative. This isn't just a rough patch. This could be the momentum that defines whether he remains the biggest name in hip-hop or ends up like Ja Rule. Once on top, now barely relevant. The parallels are impossible to ignore, and if history repeats itself, Drake might be heading toward an irrelevant downfall. The industry is ruthless, and when momentum shifts, it doesn't stop. Today we're breaking down exactly why Drake could be making the same mistakes that ended Ja Rule's reign, and how the situation might play out if he doesn't take the right steps. To fully understand what's happening to Drake, we have to look at what happened to Ja Rule. Back in the early 2000s, Ja Rule was on top of the rap game, hit after hit. He was one of the biggest artists in the world, blending street rap and R&B hooks that dominated radio. But everything changed when 50 Cent entered the picture. The beef between 50 Cent and Ja Rule wasn't just a lyrical battle, it was a calculated takedown. 50 Cent attacked Ja Rule's credibility, calling him soft, manufactured, and fake. It wasn't just the music that hurt Ja Rule, it was the shift in perception. The public turned on him. But what sealed his downfall wasn't just 50 Cent, it was the legal trouble surrounding his label, Murder Inc. Murder Inc. founded itself at the center of massive money laundering investigation. The government was looking into whether label executives were involved in illegal financial activities, and when federal agents started investigating a label, everything slows down. Ja Rule was caught in the crossfire. His label was struggling to keep its artists afloat, radio play started to dry, and distribution deals became uncertain. Suddenly, Ja Rule wasn't just fighting 50 Cent in a battle of words, he was fighting the industry. Legal troubles and a machine that no longer saw him as a priority. Just like that, momentum was gone. Fast forward to today, and Drake is dealing with a situation that has alarming similarities. He's currently locked in a lawsuit with Universal Music Group, but the details of the case raise more questions than answers. If Drake believes his reputation has been damaged by Kendrick Lamar's diss track, why is he suing the label instead of Kendrick Lamar himself? A defamation case should be directed at the person responsible for the alleged damage. Yet, Drake is targeting the infrastructure behind the music rather than the artist who created it. This isn't just a random lawsuit. It's a move that could backfire in ways he might not have anticipated. The lawsuit is already causing delays in his music career. Recently, Drake teased the song called No Face and even promoted the video on Instagram. But despite the audio dropping, the music video never came out. That's not a small thing. Drake has always been calculated with his rollouts. Even major hits had a strong visual component, and the fact that the video remains unreleased suggests something is stopping him from pushing his music the way he normally would. Could his label be restricting him? Could his lawsuit be interfering with his ability to market and distribute music effectively? The more you look at it, the more it starts to feel like history repeating itself. Then there's the issue of his latest album, Some Sexy Songs for You, dropped under an unexpected label, not under UMG or even his OVO imprint. Initial rumors suggested it might release under Sony, but it didn't happen either. Instead, it came out under a relatively obscure company that many fans had never even heard of. This raises a major question. Is Drake being sidelined by his own label? If UMG sees him as a liability due to the lawsuit, they may be pulling back their support, which could explain the lack of promotion, visuals, and overall industry push for the project. This is where the connection to Ja Rule's situation becomes even clearer. When Murder Inc. was under federal investigation, Ja Rule's ability to release music was compromised. The infrastructure behind him was falling apart, and the industry moved on. If Drake's lawsuit is creating friction between him and his label, the result could be the same: less support, less promotion, and a slow fade from dominance. Another red flag is the cancellation of his Australian tour. The official reason given was the scheduling conflict would have left Drake in the country 2 weeks with nothing to do, but the explanation doesn't make sense for an artist of Drake's caliber. If he had a gap in his schedule, he could easily Fill that with appearances, media events, or fan engagements. The real reason behind the cancellation might be something no one expected: low ticket sales. Reports started surfacing that Drake was struggling to sell out stadiums. Some tickets priced down to low as $32, a shocking decline from an artist who once charged hundreds, if not thousands, for front row seats. Even more concerning, some fans claimed they were receiving notifications from Ticketmaster about seat rearrangements due to low demands. If true, this is a huge shift. Drake has been one of the most bankable artists in the world, and if he's suddenly struggling to sell tickets, it's a sign that his dominance might be fading. And then there's Kendrick Lamar. The Super Bowl performance was the defining moment in their rivalry, and the aftermath has left Drake in a difficult position. He tried to stop Kendrick from performing the diss track at the Super Bowl, but the lawsuit didn't prevent it from happening at all. Kendrick's performance was widely praised, and the song reached even larger heights. In the world of hip-hop, perception is everything, and right now, the perception is that Kendrick Lamar won that battle. Drake's own history makes this situation even worse. When he feuded with Meek Mill, he used every tool to ensure Meek Mill was humiliated. He flooded the internet with memes, performed back-to-back at concerts, and made sure the diss track was impossible to ignore. Now he's on the receiving end of the treatment. The difference? He's not responding with the same energy, and that's a problem. The longer Drake stays silent or lets legal battles dictate his ability to move freely in the industry, the more power he loses. The public moves on quickly, and if he doesn't find a way to rein control of the narrative, his career could take a serious hit. The industry is brutal. Labels don't hesitate to shift their focus when an artist's momentum slows down. If UMG starts viewing Drake as a liability rather than an asset, their investment in him could decrease significantly. So what happens next? Does Drake drop a solo project by the end of the year to reassert his dominance? This might be his best option, but if his label situation isn't resolved, he could face more delays and complications. The other option is to wait it out, but that's risky. The longer he waits, the more opportunity there is for other artists, whether it's Kendrick, J. Cole, or a rising newcomer, to take the spotlight. The worst case scenario, he continues on this path, locked in legal battles, releasing music without proper promotion, and struggling to sell out shows. That's exactly what happened to Ja Rule. One moment, he was on top of the world, and next, the industry had moved on without him. Drake still has time to turn things around though, but he has to take the right moves. His next steps will determine whether he cements his legacy or becomes another cautionary tale. Will he fight back, reclaim his position, and drop an undeniable project that reminds everyone why he's one of the greatest to ever do it, or is he already on the decline and we're witnessing the beginning of the end? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Drake can bounce back, or is he heading down the same road as Ja Rule? Let's talk about it. If you found this breakdown insightful, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn your notification bells on and stay tuned, because the story isn't over yet.